Oh, yeah, yeah. Follow suit with the first one.
Indeed.
So,
So, Dennis, we did our intros a moment ago because but I forgot to press record. So it's been a couple weeks. Welcome back. I was
yes, 3. In fact, it's good to be back. I've been a very busy, very busy. But you, my friend, have had
Have you been
nothing but fun. So you
have you
stayed
been a
on
beaver or a
the
bee?
old island. You stayed on old Mackinac
Yes,
Island.
we went up north over you, and it's this beautiful island. It's pretty small, really. The circumference that we walked is 8.2 miles. In fact, they sell little stickers and magnets and stuff in the shops that say 8.2 that I had to ask about. What does 8.2 mean? And they're like, that's how many miles it is around the island. Okay. And the walk around the island is very nice because it's so perfectly flat. It's just right there at lake level, which you know because you said you've done it. We discovered on the far side of the island, we were walking along, and you know what we saw? We saw a tractor trailer that was parked on the beach. A huge truck that was just parked on the beach.
Oh, really?
And that's like illegal ban because this island doesn't allow motor vehicles.
Right. So what was the deal?
I don't. Somehow they have to. I don't know. It was just there. I took a photo of it, and then we saw what. And then we saw what looked like the driver coming from behind some rocks, and so we ran away because we figured it's some sort of illegal arms trafficking or something.
Well, you can't get there unless you take the ferry. So the ferries.
Clearly the truck didn't swim, but I think there might have been like a dock. There might have been a dock there that it had pulled off of a ferry, but it seems weird because like they have the delivery van horse and buggies that like have this flat carriage behind 3 horses that are just stacked high with Amazon boxes, which I found amusing.
Yeah.
People ordering their USB cables and whatever.
That's a good picture. That's a good picture.
So on the first day, we did this nice carriage ride tour where these young we had 2, I guess, tour guides, both young women. The first one was from Romania, and they take you around and they say all the same jokes on every tour about, you know, this is the local post office, and it's the only post office in the United States where they don't deliver any mail. You have to go and get it at the post office.
It's the only one.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Do you believe her? They could make shit up. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, she I don't know. Yeah, she said. Well, she did say a couple things that turned out to be like wives' tales, myths, sort of things. Like she said that they on the Grand Hotel, this huge hotel that they have there that's super beautiful, and she said it was built in. No, the Grand Hotel.
Oh, the Grand Hotel. I'm sorry.
The hotel. She said it was built in 93 days, which seems kind of hard to believe.
That explains no windows in all the middle rooms.
Well, I don't know about the Grand Hotel. I'm not rich enough to go in there yet.
We stayed. We've somehow got a deal because of a conference I was at, the prosecutors' conference, and the good news, we were in the main hotel, which is gorgeous with the porch and the golf course and all that, which I played. But when we went to our room, it was this bank of rooms. On every floor, there's a bank of rooms right in the middle that have no windows, you know, and they're just square rooms, not a whole lot.
Right.
And it's like, all right, change your clothes, let's go.
Right.
Yeah, we sleep in here.
You're not there to be in the in the room. You're not there to like watch Netflix or something on TV. No.
Did you go out? Did you go to bars? Did you?
We did. I was tasked with choosing the restaurants for all of our meals as my duty.
Your quasi culinary duties.
Yes, quasi culinary and
culinary related duties.
Yes, true. And that wasn't too difficult. There's a bunch of pretty good restaurants. They all seem nice.
And all within walking distance.
True that. Because and lots of breweries and things too. Yeah, the food was pretty good. Nothing.
Yeah,
incredible.
That was my impression of the place was, as far as food goes, was nothing stands out.
No.
What stood out was the view and just the environment of it. It's quite an experience when you're immersed in that, and when it's crowded like that, and you appreciate more getting to the north end of the island or going to that inner golf course.
The early mornings are fantastic. Yeah. Where it's not where the ferries full of tourists haven't arrived yet.
Right.
And that's really lovely. I did have one amazing meal. I was encouraged to abandon the family and take my wife out for a meal, and we went to a restaurant
Just
up in the
woods.
Two of you? Yes, called the Woods Restaurant, and that was very, very good. I had elk chop. So
how was it cooked?
It was. It was a piece of meat with a bone sticking out of it, sort of pork choppy. It was cooked. I asked for rare, and it was
on a grill.
I think so.
Char grill.
Yeah, on a bed of.
Was it gamey?
Potatoes and not super gamey, but more than like cow, obviously.
Yeah, well, yeah. What is it? A goat is. Did you ever eat goat?
Yeah, we eat goat and lamb in Spain. So that was amazing, and we had an amazing bottle of wine with that too.
What did your better half have?
She had lemon sole.
Ah.
That was okay, but
how was it cooked? In parchment?
I don't know.
That's one way to cook sole when you say lemon sole, because it's so thin.
Huh. Like the sole of your shoe.
Say it again?
Like the sole of your shoe?
Like my sole. It's thin.
Your
very long. Thin. Very, very, very long, but very thin.
It's weird because you're
like
so
a
thick.
String. My sole is shaped like a taut string.
Like a pasta along taglioni or something.
Yeah. Then you could eat it, so you could eat my sole. Let's wrap on that.
Have to boil your soul. Boiled soul.
Boiled
yeah.
Soul. Lemon sole.
Yes.
Lemon sole.
With some
lemon, the king of soul. Wow. I thank you.
Yes. That's sour. Sour soul.
Yes. Yes.
So then another day, we decided to rent our own horse and buggy, which is the thing you can do.
That you drove around?
You drive. Yes.
Whoa.
And because there were 6 of us, we got 2. One that was 4-person and one that was a 2-person.
Who drove the other one? Your pops?
And we were. I was in the 4-person one with my wife and I were in the back, and my father and son were in the front.
But who was driving?
My father was driving, And then in the other one, my mother was driving my daughter. And we sort of set out. Our horse was named Ace, and the guy that taught us what to do said, just sort of move the reins a little bit. If you need him to go, move this whip here, but just like move it in the air so it makes a little wish wish sound, and he knows what that means. And we're like, all right, fine. So the guy from the stables walked with us half a block up a hill, and then sort of said, "Okay, good luck. Here's a map on a with a photocopy of a map that had been. This was so it was hard to read with a highlighter that he'd gone around and showed. This is the sort of route that you're going to take. Don't worry, the horse knows the route." And fine, so we set off and we started walking up the hill by the Grand Hotel. And the biggest goddamn thunderstorm came up. And
man, and you didn't know it was coming.
Rain. It poured rain. It was thunder, lightning. I don't think there was any hail, but it was just really rained hard.
And you were in open seating.
In an open carriage. We had a roof, but no sides. And so we got pretty drenched. And it got cold because the temperature dropped. And
so I'm surprised that you guys all plugged in and in tune didn't know the day you were renting horses that there was a storm coming.
We did not know.
How could you not know?
Because it was part of the plan.
There's never a moment you don't know that. You always know. You know everything.
So
a good concierge would have known.
Well, I mean, maybe it wasn't a guaranteed storm or whatever, but I don't know. Anyway, the people at the horse thing didn't say, "Oh, and by the way, if it rains, look like it's going to rain."
Okay, sudden storm. Sudden unexpected storm.
Exactly.
Okay.
And our horse Ace was like, "Nah, man, I'm not walking in this." The other horse people later told us that the horses do kind of like the rain because it cools them off, but I don't know, maybe the thunder or our horse would not go. And my 10-year-old son got kind of freaked out and by just the crazy situation we were in, and it was cold, and was like, I want to go home. And so we decided, all right, let's try and abort our route here and turn. And it looks like there's a turn here that we can cut off a big part of the route, and we can do that. And we sort of got somewhat lost in the woods, just trying really. So remember how I said you just had to make a little whipping noise with the whip? Nah. First of all, the darn thing doesn't make any noise, and you actually we had to hit the horse. Again, we're not doing any damage to the horse with this little whip.
Right, just sharp, just to let him know.
And even so, it was tough to get him to move. And I drove for the. I moved up to the front seat, and my son came back to just be sit in his mother's lap and try and get warmed up. And I drove the rest of the way, and it was quite difficult. And anyway. At one point, we were by these other stables, and this girl came out, and just came out from the nice, dry, warm stables, and walked through the rain and the puddles, and her got all super wet just to come out and try and help us get to where we needed to go. And in the end, it was just it was sort of a disaster, but it was one hell of a memory that we're not going to
adventurous disaster.
Exactly.
An adventurous and memorable disaster.
So we're never going to forget that. And then on the following day, we rented horses to ride. Everyone but my father, and we rode around a nice little path, and that was quite lovely. I ride horses about once every 10 years.
Yeah,
it was about time to do it again. And it was pleasant.
Yeah.
And
I used to ride. The days I rode a lot, were some of my best memories when I was agile enough to be able to take a horse on a wild run and run him. I mean, run him.
Yeah.
Through the woods, through the fields.
I envy that, being that in control and confident and connected to the beast.
I did tell you the cow pony story right up in Washington. The guy put me on a trained cow pony that was
What is
trained,
a cow pony?
Well, I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
That was trained to keep the cattle in the confined geographic spot where they're supposed to be. And like a sheepdog, which is genetically and trained to keep the sheep in. Oh, isn't that something? What do we got? What do we got today?
Smittix, bros.
Smittix.
Yeah. Can't get that in Spain. So continue the cow pony thing.
Oh. So you can imagine, you've seen a sheepdog work, I would imagine.
I have.
Huh? No?
Yes. I know what sheepdog is.
So the horse is the same exact training, and the key to riding this cow pony was to just be flexible enough to hang on and let the pony do what it was going to do. And to a certain extent, you could know where the pony's going because you could see cows starting to cattle.
Why does it need a rider? Seems autonomous.
No, well, I don't know. They're not like a dog that you call them and they come back. Good dog, come here. Here's your ball. No, it's a horse. Horses are made to be read. Dogs are made to be led.
A horse is a horse, of course.
That's why I make bread. The story is old and feels like lead.
Excellent. Yeah. So that was we had a great time there and flew back and.
So you went to Lake James and
then yes, and then we had more adventures. We went. First, we went. Well, after we got back from from Mackinac Island, we had a huge family reunion for my father's family, because to sort of have a celebration of life for my grandmother that died
she
recently.
was quite the woman,
and so it was a lot of the family getting together, likely for the last time, because we don't have a common history of getting together just for the fun of it.
Right.
So
right.
That was
not even for marriages or things like that.
Yeah. So that was nice to see them in the right dose. They're actually kind of nice people, and so that was a big thing, organizing all of that.
Any Trumpers?
Oh yeah. So we've got we have strict no politics rules.
Thank God, huh?
When you close that spigot, that bigot spigot, they're actually kind of nice people.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So the pontoon boat.
Yes. Well, then I'm getting to the pontoon. We have more boats before the pontoon boat. After the reunion, we went with our brother Phil down a river. He's got kayaks, and we met him at a property that he has that's on the river, and hopped into his, which was our destination on the river, and hopped into his truck with his kayaks in the trailer, and we drove upriver, and everybody got in. It was Phil and my wife and me and my kids, and I was on a stand-up paddleboard going down the river, which is pretty fun.
What an adventure!
And so we did that. That was
which river?
The Johns River before it gets to the Catawba. And that was lovely. It was nice and slow. There were some parts where it was a little low, and the danger with the stand-up paddleboard is that there's a fin that's probably 6 inches, and if you get in below 6 inches of water, it'll catch on stuff and it'll stop, which causes you to tumble forward. So there are a couple places where I had to get down and on my knees to not lose balance and put my weight forward. And anyway, it was a delight. My last year we did this, and I was in a canoe with my son, and this year we decided all kayaks, except for the paddleboard.
So how many kayaks were there? 4?
4, and
he had all 4 of them.
He has 3, and he borrowed 1.
He's got a child, wife, so there's 3 in his family.
Yeah, I guess. And that last year, my daughter learned to kayak. It's counterintuitive sometimes how you have to paddle backwards to turn this way or get out of if you get up against a log or something. And this year, my son learned that, and we just had a fantastic time. And at the very end, we got to Phil's little landing, which he's going to build something there, but at the moment it's just nothing. And there's a place there where the river gets really deep, and so we swam out and just had a really relaxing time of swimming upriver about 20 yards, and then flipping over onto your back and floating back down, and then rinse and repeat. That was pretty lovely to do. And then the following day, we went on the lake with John on his pontoon boat.
Yes, and Lake James.
So we did this last year, and my father asked my son, "What was your favorite part about going on the lake?" And he said, "The bucket of KFC chicken that we got on the way there." So now we stopped by KFC to get a bucket of chicken to take onto the boat.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
But we spent like 4 hours in this little cove. John is doing great. He
looks like his hair is turning a little gray. I'm happy to see that at the age of 72.
Yeah, finally. But yeah, he's healthy and wise and just living the good life.
Living the life. And Bob Jones, for God's sake, what a strange look about him. He was never slender when I knew him.
Huh. Yeah, so that was a beautiful day. We spent so much time just out. He's got these little sort of floating chairs that you can sit in and just lie back and just be, which is so calming. And that was fantastic. And then the day after, we had this party where lots of people came over.
Where?
At my parents' house.
That's a great house.
They've got a great party house. And so
big deck, big living
all the
room.
usual suspects were there.
Yeah. Did you see AJ and Steve?
Yes, they did not come to the party, but I've seen them around. They walk with my father most mornings. So I have seen them.
Why how close are you to them? Several miles, correct?
Yeah, but they go near where my parents live. There's a nice walk by the river.
Oh yeah. I've been on that walk. Used to have a restaurant on it that I understood may have closed.
Not only did it close, it's gone. They
tore it down.
You can't even know that there was a restaurant there. It's pretty creepy.
So strange. It was a great restaurant.
Yeah, it was one of the best in the town.
Iconic.
So yeah, I got to meet Bob and Cindy again, because I don't really remember them because it was like 35 years ago that
I remember a couple stories, but I'll save them.
I'm sure you have stories.
Sounds fun.
But it would have, yeah, you would have felt right at home at such a party.
Yeah, I miss being, getting around. I've been working a lot for me because with the home for the elderly and infirm here, it's got me hopping. 6 meals a day, 12 snacks a day, cleaning, doing the wash. Nobody can get around. And it's like it's my weight. I carry it, and I'm trying to appreciate it as best I can. But it's a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah, sure.
It really is. When people started holding up their empty glasses and stuff, and,
Right.
as if, hey,
Dan, yeah,
take this. What?
So I've got one more day of.
Oh, good. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were done.
No.
I thought you were done telling happy stories. I wanted to complain about.
There's one more. So it was scheduled for Sunday, but it turned out that we couldn't. We had scheduled a rematch of the old Toms and the young Toms. Do you know what that is? That's a thing. So in St. Andrews, the original.
Right.
The two best golfers were Old Tom and Young Tom. I suppose they were related. I forget. And so when we organized a trip to Scotland many years ago with Jeff, my father, and Jacob and me, we sort of put together a tournament because they're, between the two older men and the two younger men. And we competed there. And I think the young Toms won there. And then,
so you could do this because Jacob was there?
Yes.
Wow.
And then we had another match when we took a trip to Ireland to play a bunch of golf courses, and the old Toms won there. And so Jacob was going to be around. And
straight up?
And we organized, yes, straight up. But none of us have been playing lately, in the past year. Very, very little play. Jeff stopped for a while, and my father stopped for a while, and Jacob doesn't play very often, and I haven't touched a club in a year. And so we played straight up. Normally, Jeff and Paul play from the red tees, but they moved back. But in honor of playing against us, they moved back one tee to the gold tees, and we played from the tees behind them, the white tees.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. We played best ball match play. So whoever had the lowest score, whichever team had the lowest score, won that hole. And I played surprisingly well. I was very surprised with how well I did. On the front nine, I had 2 birdies. That's how well I played. I had one par 5.
Where is this at
the local Mimosa?
Mimosa. Yeah. I don't know. I ever played Mimosa.
Well,
I won my trophy at the Burke Open at the other public course.
Right. You might have, but you need to come back because it's an amazing golf course.
Yeah. Well, I got plans. I got we're here.
Well, anyway, long story short, the Young Toms won because Jeff sucked.
He can't play anymore.
Yeah, he had this arm brace on, and I don't know. He just wasn't very good.
That's sad for him. He always loved to play well. Of course, we all do, but
sure,
he took it
some more than others. Yeah,
level. He really did.
Okay, over to you in the Michigan office.
Oh, well, so I've been playing some music. That's been a lot of fun. I shout out to Steve Pesh, who has got 2 bands, and then his solo artist. But his cowboy band that he formed has played twice, and I'm going to go see their third performance this Friday out in a little town north of here called Dorr. Dorr.
Uh-huh.
At a place called the One More Grill. And the name of his band, which I love, is Dirty Boots.
Nice.
And it's 3-piece country band. This guy's like a jukebox. And then his other band is a rock band. When he plays solo, he is like a jukebox. I mean it. His song comes when he plays it. The other day he played Rocket Man. He played some Zeppelin. He played Bruce Springsteen.
Jesus.
Gordon Lightfoot. Just one after another.
People like that are amazing.
Chuck Berry, nothing in front of him, just his guitar singing. And he called me up, and said, "Come on, man, let's do something." And picked a song he said was in G, and as it turns out, was in G minor. He didn't know it, which meant that it wasn't going to work for me very well. Although to him it sounded good. I knew that it wasn't right. I played in the lower end of it, and it worked, but
you don't need a different harp to play in a minor key.
When you play a minor key, yeah, you got to go another step. Yeah, so
Okay.
you don't. It's important to know because there's a lot of songs that are minor, but you got to have whoever's leading the charge, piano player, guitar player, whatever, know it,
Right.
and shout it out. But we played Folsom Prison Blues,
Nice.
and that was a wide open blast. And then, much to his surprise, when he said, "Well, you can play harp to take a load off Benny." What do you call it? The weight.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I'll sing harmony too." He said, "Okay." And so I know that song forever
Right.
in the high harmony.
Yep.
The whole song. And he kind of gave me a sideways glance, and then moved the mic so we were sharing it.
Nice.
And we had fun with it. I love to play with him. I'm going out tonight. Out of Favorite Boy, a duo or a trio is down at O'Duffy's Irish Pub.
Sweet.
Sax, wide open, wired up acoustic guitar. Danny or Joel playing that, and if it's a threesome, 2 guitars in a little tiny place that's got great sound. I sing there, no mic,
Wow.
just perfect acoustics.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going out tonight too, which is weird.
Where you
because
go?
Normally, I record this like late into my night and go immediately to bed. But there's a local brewery that has a chess club that on every once in a while, and we thought we'd take my son there to
Play some chess.
get him drunk and
Yeah, right. Here you go, boy. Drink this stuff. I know it tastes like gasoline, but you'll play better.
yeah, exactly. Oh, you lost your queen. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So that is exciting. We the first 2 weeks here, the ones that I've not been recording have just been crazy. We packed everything in. Oh, what I didn't tell you is the other thing we did is we went to a baseball game.
Oh gosh.
Last year we went to a Hickory Crawdads game, and my family loved it so much they were like, it feels like every year we do a new thing, and immediately it's like added to the we must do this every year
Baseball, yeah.
thing.
Did
And
they love it as much?
yeah, my daughter, bless her little teenage heart, has been following the cutest player on the team on Instagram since last year.
That's funny. Who she met the first time you saw the team?
Yeah, didn't meet, but
Or not meet, but
saw them
became
play,
aware.
and it was like, ooh, number one, it sure is dreamy, and so like she, on our way there, she was like, Yeah, he's got a brother who's also a baseball player. Who his brother just got accepted into the majors, and but he's been in the majors before, but now he's back down in the minors, and something. His brother just got married. I don't know, just this funny thing to think of. All this
To hear her.
rich commentary just from following someone, which is hilarious. But it was last year. It was an amazing game where the home team was down pretty bad, and then like came back at the very end to win. And this time, the home team in the first 2 innings, I say like I'm the home team.
Right, it's you. You're a fan.
We walked in like 2 runs, just because the pitcher just sucks so bad. And we changed pitchers a couple times, and then towards the end, I think we won like 8-3 or something, which is pretty good.
I've never sat through a baseball game my entire life.
It's I could never do it on watching on television, but actually when you're actually there, it's kind of fun.
Well, yeah.
We were right down on the field in the front row, above the dugout for the home team, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
but it's a fun experience.
Yeah, I was in Denver, went to a ball game, but I didn't like some of the people I was with, so that probably had a big impact on how I felt about the game.
Well, we were there with Jeff and Jacob and his kids too. Just kind of interesting. And
how old are his twins? Right?
Yeah, they're a year younger than my youngest, so they're 9.
Wow.
They're going into
Saw
3rd
birth
grade.
pictures, and that's it. Or not birth, but infant.
I'll send you. There's a great photo of all of us sitting in the stands that I will share with you. That was pretty fun. So, like I said, that we packed all of that shit into 2 weeks, and it was exhausting.
Well, I'm doing some carpentry jobs that are in between my computer work, or on my days off, but and it's what I really love about it. It's all reclaimed lumber or reclaimed artifacts. Like one is the sandbox that my next door neighbor actually was going to toss. That's a square, wooden box, but it opens up in a clever way with hinges on the top, slatted top, that there's 2 benches facing each other. And it's a perfect sandbox for 4 kids. And so it's got to be...
And you got kids.
What's that?
And you have kids that visit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so that's sanded, and I got to stain it, but it's hours and hours and hours. And somebody tossed a wooden chest. Somebody made a wooden chest out of good plywood and nice trim wood. So there's 2 kinds of trim and a tight-fitting top that fits on top, and it had rope handles.
Nice.
And little tiny hinges that broke off, and that's why they threw it away, because the hinges broke off. So I snatched it up and spray washed it. Been sitting in my back room holding my warm 6-packs, 12-packs of beer and whatever beverages we don't want to crowd our cupboards with, or whatever, kind of a food box, or it's a beverage box. And
it's like a cooler but with no ice.
No, a cooler, but not a cooler.
Yeah, a warmer.
Just a chest. And anyway, I painted it and added black hardware and got it all fixed up. That's fun.
It's your beer chest.
It's my beer chest. That's right.
Not bare-chested. Beer-chested.
Beer-chested. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Cool.
Anyway, that's one of the projects.
Sandbox. It amuses me.
What's that?
The idea of a sandbox amuses me because where I live in Spain, not only is there a beach right nearby, but like if you dig an inch anywhere, you just get this really fine sand, and the idea of suburban American in the far from water, trucking in some sand for their kids to muck around in is
Yeah, there's a beach right up the street from us, a nice one, with playground equipment and whatnot. But this is, after all, my backyard. I got a grill. Did I tell you a story about the grill? Put the grill together,
no
grilled up some chicken. My son and his friend from
grilled up some
Little
chicken.
Rock are like, hey, what are you doing 4th of July? Can we grill at your house? I'm like, oh man, I didn't know I was going to have. I was surprised I was alone on the 4th of July. This is great. And I went out and bought a grill. Good news was it was $98 and a nice one with a big barrel kind of top on it. Good gauge. Good grill. $98. But it was 120 pieces. And so.
Oh, shit.
Three
That's less than $1 a piece. That's a pretty good deal.
3 of us drinking through and figuring it out. We put it together and then grilled up the chicken, then ate it. It was fucking great.
Nice.
Good times. That's right.
Good grill.
Those are good times.
Grill chicken, 4th of July.
So I also have a little project I know you'll appreciate. Is I have a antique toilet paper holder. And
it holds antique toilet paper?
The toilet paper is an antique, but the holder is.
Good, because I think
it's all
using
metal.
antique toilet paper would not be.
It's all metal, iron bottom, iron top, and a metal tube that holds it all together.
You would need an iron bottom to use antique toilet paper.
That's right. And the stem broke off from the legs, a hole in a stem, and so I used this magic stuff, right? That hardens like fucking metal, and it's a project that I dibble and dabble with. I've been working on it for a week, and all I do is apply a little more glue, but it takes that long
because you have to apply some glue, let it dry for 24 hours.
72 is ideal. Won't harden. Can't use it. So while you were gone, I don't know if you've been aware, but the news today is that yesterday actually, Trump received a letter.
Yes.
Yet another letter from Jack Smith, special prosecutor, who said, by the way, you're a target for the January 6th investigation, and you have 4 days to report to us.
What?
Next indictment, here we come. Ironclad.
What's the point of the warning or being told you're a target of an investigation? Didn't we know he was a target of the investigation? Didn't he know? Doesn't he claim that he's being targeted?
So this is the thing. There's a few times in an investigation when legally you have to let people know what's going on. And after they've interviewed hundreds of people, they've got a grand jury, they're doing all this stuff, they're looking at stuff, and then they say, you know what? We've made a decision. That decision about who the targets are is made to the taxpayers as a way to say, after we spent all your money doing this, which we did behind closed doors, without you knowing.
Right.
Very secretive, no leaks, blah, blah, blah. Now we have an obligation to tell you this is how we spent your money. There are targets. We do that by informing the target, who needs to lawyer up.
Not the taxpayer. They inform the target.
Pardon?
If they're showing the taxpayer what they've been up to, they do so not by telling the taxpayer, not by telling the press this is the target, but by telling the target.
Well, I'm explaining why it's made public.
Oh, I thought he made it public. I thought he
did only because he wanted to jump. He wanted to manage the news instead of them managing it.
Right.
But it's public information.
He's good at that.
Yeah, well,
One of his skills.
he's the best.
Yeah.
The very best. Oh, very best. They have nothing. And all the pundits say, I have nothing. It was a perfect call. They're so deluded. So you see the other news that is fascinating is the surgency, the early surgency of a third party discussion with a group called no agenda or no, I don't know what the fuck.
Wait, that's the Republicans.
Yeah. But the guy who's the keynoter at their event was what's his ass from Virginia, Manchin, and who's this just
he's a doofus
and kind of Democrat, and says, first of all, I'm not a candidate. Second, if I was a candidate, I wouldn't be doing it to spoil something. It would be doing it because it would win. And if I ran as a third-party candidate, which I haven't said I'm going to do, I would win. That's what he says. And there's an interesting fact.
I mean,
in the past couple of years, the percentage of the voting public that identifies themselves as Republicans has gone down to 25%. And the percentage of the voting public that calls themselves Democrats has taken a nosedive. It is now just barely above Republican at 27%. The percentage of the voting public that says they're independent has skyrocketed to 44%. That's what's happening today. 70% of the voting public doesn't want either Joe Biden or Donald Trump to be running for president.
They're horrible
70%.
candidates. They're so bad. They're such horrible candidates.
Well, and at the end of the day, it's like, well, that's a year and a half from now. So, yeah, it's...
Yeah, but you got to start now. Like,
well, sure, you got to start now.
The campaigning starts... I'm surprised. In my memory, it starts more like around September.
Well, it's running. Iowa is happening now, so first in the nation. Chris Christie's having a hard time raising money. DeSantis was spending so much money on his entourage and private jets and transportation. He raised a very large amount, $18 million, something like that, and was spending it at such a clip that it broke the news because he laid off all these staff and his campaign's only like a month old. It's like he's the one who...
He knows how to govern.
He's the one who announced with Musk.
Yes.
And they had fucking technical difficulties on fucking Twitter. Jesus Christ.
Of course they did.
Of course they did.
What a fucking clown show the whole thing is.
Fucking clown show is right. That reminds me, the circus has got to have some updated episodes. That is the best political news show in the land.
I wonder if they're affected by the writer's strike, because apparently all the late night shows are off. They have been for several weeks now. Like there's no comedian punditry on
I don't know
at the moment.
But they might have had, the strike is that they can't participate in advertising stuff that's already been done.
Right, but there's a lot of like solidarity stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now the actors are on strike.
Nothing but.
For the first time since 1960.
Nothing but solidarity.
And you know who was the union champion in 1960 that got everything done?
No.
Ronald Reagan.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Champion for the unions.
I knew that.
Just wild. And they were striking because television was like rerunning movies and stuff, and they were like,
one of the reasons that people predicted Ronald Reagan could never win the presidency, he was divorced.
Wow.
That was enough.
Yeah.
Back in the day, a campaign was derailed by a wrong a statement, a wrong statement.
Right. Or
one picture, one stray picture, ruined a campaign.
Or you remember Howard Dean, who like got a little too excited for 3 seconds?
The Dean scream.
Yeah, and like that ended him.
It did.
And
it was too weird. It was just too weird for at the time.
And now it's like, yeah, we got old man, empathetic old man versus crazy off his rocker old man. And, you know, that's what
the old man. The old man. We talked about the old man, right?
About how you noticed the freckles from the actress.
Yeah.
When she was
identified her 20 years later. But I originally hadn't even remembered that we had talked about it, but of course we had.
Yes.
That's coming. That's another series coming.
Probably. Everything's all like delayed with the strike.
Right.
And apparently some of the big like Warner Brothers bigwigs are just like, we're not going to negotiate for they've got enough money and power in this negotiation to just be quiet for a month or two and just let this strike go on and until they're willing to begin to negotiate. I don't know.
Crazy times. Hey, I guess I signed up for my wife and I was going to Farm Aid in Indiana, near Indianapolis, with John Mellencamp and Neil Young.
Nice.
And you name it, man. It's going to be way cool. We got the only seats available, which is on the lawn, which is kind of behind the stadium, I guess. But they were $75 to sit on the lawn.
Wow.
And if you wanted to go to one of two bars there, it was seating first come, first serve. To get into the bar where they serve food and what it was, a $50 ticket per person.
Sure.
Just to get into the bar. It's like, I don't even have a glass of water yet, and I paid $100. I mean, it's like,
everything
yeah,
so
we get
expensive.
it. You know, you're raising money, but geez, man.
I'm blown away by how expensive everything feels this visit to the States.
Yeah.
Like to go out to a restaurant. I took my wife and kids to a restaurant. We got 2 pizzas and 2 beers and waters, and it was like $75 or something. It's just like, damn.
Yeah.
And the bucket of KFC of 12 pieces of chicken was like $30.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what the?
Well, chicken's gone way up. And
I feel like what?
I hate to use chicken as a segue here, but I gotta go because I gotta cook. I gotta feed people, man. They're
Chicken's
downstairs.
going up.
You mentioned chicken. I thought about food. I gotta feed these guys.
Okay.
Man, this is great seeing you again.
This is great. I will definitely see you next week, and then I will be back in Spain after that.
Bam.
So out. Okay, that's it for episode 189. You can find the show notes, meager as they are, with some Wikipedia links and things, at happyhour.fm/189. You can help support the show at patreon.com/happyhour, where if you join at the Gin Martinis level, you can watch our recorded video of this. It's pretty fun. See you next week.